woke a couple of you up. Sorry about that. So how many of you play Star Trek games? Cool. How many of you watch things on Twitch or stream or YouTube, listen to podcasts? Well, you're gonna love this next panel. It's a lot of fun. I'm super excited about it. We've got a show called Talking Trek, great name. And let me introduce to you UltimatDJz. Come on out, UltimatDJz, please. There he is.
Hi. Hello. Ooh. Hi, guys. Is it working? There. Low battery. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Murfreesboro. I'm just going to hold it up like this and it'll work. Yep. All right, we've got a great panel for you here today, ladies and gentlemen. The men love him because it is not easy being green. Ladies and gentlemen, Griffin is here.
Joke's on you, they can't turn me green here, jerk.
Yeah, but they can't turn the mic off. It's not working. Swap out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all the way across the country, from the great state of Hawaii, Dr. Iron Chef is here.
Aloha! Oh, you guys gotta do better. Aloha!
Fantastic. All the way from the great north, ladies and gentlemen, Major Samo is here.
What's going on, E?
Ladies and gentlemen from New Jersey, so it doesn't really count at all, Tiberius is here. And a creator that you guys have never met. A creator that uses a tool, or has created a tool and maintains a tool that every single one of you have heard of, from STFC Statistics, live from the Netherlands, Cronox is here.
Hey guys!
And if I'm not mistaken, we do have one more surprise guest. A guest that has remained quiet and mum up until this point, until about 12 hours ago when I absolutely spoiled the surprise for those who are around me. Ladies and gentlemen, Beck Likes Plants is here. All right, guys, this is a community creation panel. We hope that you guys really enjoy what we have put together. We're going to be taking questions from you guys, and we have a few more surprises along the way. As a matter of fact, one creator who was not able to be with us here is actually coming to us, if I'm not mistaken, from live satellite feed from the UK. We'll see if we can get him up on the video board. Lube was not able to be with us here today, but he did want to be here in all of his squirrely glory. So we'll take a look at your broadcast display video, and we'll get a message from It's Lube.
Hi all, Lube here from the It's Lube YouTube and Twitch channels, and of course the Brits and Yanks Talk Trek podcast. I am currently roasting my squirrel nuts on holiday, so I'm unable to be with you today, and I'm absolutely devastated that I can't be with you. I assure you I will be there on a future occasion when we all get together again. I really wanted to be there for this inaugural get-together of the entire community. I think it will be absolutely amazing, and I hope you all have a fantastic time. You guys, this community is what makes our game, Star Trek Fleet Command, the game that it really is today. So amazing that you've all managed to get together, and I hope you all do have a superb time. And like I say, I will be joining you again in the future. Before we go, let's reflect on a couple of the moments from our community. I'm going to share a couple of quick bits with you, but I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day.
Hey guys, what's up?
These are the continuing streams of the Canadian Major Samo.
If you make a promise, you keep a promise.
Lube here from the It's Lube YouTube and Twitch channels, and of course the Brits and Yanks Talk Trek podcast.
We want to send a big mahalo to our STFC community.
And our new Aloha Diz Ohana.
Samo is a better streamer than Lou B, but Minnie is the top streamer after the Rev Deuce Master. But Silvus is a fetus.
Oh, they won their last one too. They won pretty handily. Okay, we better bring our A game. Or, oh, hey, we're playing against, server 21. Well, they lost last time. Okay, so either they're going to be out for revenge, or maybe, they're not as big of a threat as we thought they were, or whatever the case is.
Here we go.
So this is basically a challenge to see how many
Number 10.
describe you.
Yeah. You started referring to your group of friends as your alliance.
DJs. Yeah! It did it? Is that it? Did it happen?
I broke it.
It says Sammo! It says Sammo! Sammo's the winner!
Is that real? I don't know if I messed it up. Did I mess it up?
Do it now! Oh, this is the worst. You can't take it back now!
No.
Oh, no.
What the It just changed again!
That was Swoopsy!
Wait, what just happened?
Oh, no.
I broke the sheet! I broke the sheet! Oh my god, I broke the sheet! I broke it! Oh my god!
He wanted me to grind this door, so we'll do it.
Move!
Shake those biddies.
Oh, dog doesn't like it. The dog doesn't like it.
Well, screaming in my heart, and I got goats screaming in my earballs.
You're an Iron Chef sexy voice.
I mean, Major Sammo, the next time Iron Chef streams, you just redeem it yourself.
I've got the power.
No, Seth, you're gonna have to go with Sammo.
I think
That's right, Sammo, you got...
Oh my god, the things we do for content here.
Time for round 2. Let's get 40 more.
Take it off, Tibbs.
Apologize in advance to anyone who doesn't like what they're about to see.
Ooh, look at those arms.
Oh, David.
Can we clip this?
We need to clip that.
I look better now. That's better.
What do we do?
+1, they both get to go together.
Oh no! We're gonna get sued! Lube is absolutely right. We'll do just about anything for content, but the reason that we do that content is for people like you, our communities, the fans who get together and watch our streams and contribute to our channels and play the games with us, whether it's this game, that game, a Star Trek game, or a night off. We're playing Words with Friends, or we're playing Among Us. Mine?
Who knows?
I am not touching it.
Just keep talking. It's called RF interference. And on.
And he's the technical guy. So, no, we are really, really excited to be here with you guys. This is an amazing group of creators that I have grown to know and come to call friends over the last several years. And I thought that it was really important when we had this opportunity to sit with you guys here today. What I wanted to do was actually talk a little bit about not what we create, but how we do it. Building a community, because each one of these people up here have been very successful in growing Discord families, Twitch channels, YouTube channels of thousands and thousands and thousands of people that watch us do silly, silly stuff. Why? That stuff is terrible. Except it's not, because these people have built a human community. And so I would like to talk to them a little bit about that today, and we'll start maybe with you, Dr. Iron Chef. Tell us a little bit about in your position, because you've grown your channel to way outside Star Trek, even with Disney content as well. Everybody out here, ready? What makes a community?
Yeah, super excited to be here. We started off with having my son ask me, like, oh, can I give a gift sub to somebody on Twitch? And I said, oh, is this one of your friends from school? I said, no, this is a master's student in like nursing or something, and I moderate for her channel, and he's 11. So we started out like that, and I went like, wow, that's amazing. Like you're talking with these law students and these electrical engineers, and what happened was he had built his own community as also a Twitch streamer at 13. And I went, this is great. I want to be a part of that, because now we have opportunities to talk to people all around the world. I think that's what the best thing is about. I stream late at night, so the U.S. audience isn't around, they're sleeping. But I've met friends from the Philippines, New Zealand, the UK is a big part of our group, and so community is such a big thing for us because we feel like they're Ohana, they're family. And so we're so glad to be part of the STFC community here.
Samo, you're one of the newest additions, yet one of the ones who have built something huge and incredibly unique. We've had conversations even on our own channel about what you find in your community has been authenticity, right? Tell us a little bit about your vision for your community and how you have built such a large audience in the short time that you've been with us.
Well, I started off as a fangirl of the STFC community. I didn't know Twitch existed until, I found one person on YouTube and then I discovered Twitch. So I've been watching for a goodly while and thinking, it's just so cool. You get to go up there and yes, we're playing this game, Star Trek Fleet Command. I've been a Trekkie since the womb, I always say. It's just such a part of my life. Thank you, parents, for being awesome nerds. And so I thought, wow, you can get up there and, for me, talk not only about Star Trek, but all of science fiction and like real science and the history of, and other shows. In fact, my handle is in honor of Stargate SG-1. So they talk to you after. But yeah, so it's that exactly right there. It's a platform where I get to go up and talk about these passions with people who share them. But through that foundation, suddenly you're getting to know people and what else is in their life, and maybe helping people, or getting up there and talking about this nerd stuff seems silly to a lot of people, but in fact, you become family, and people will tell you of their issues, and you can help people or inspire people. And I even talk about non-sci-fi stuff. I do the saxophone, I sing, not as well as Beck. Or there's lots of military service people I was in for a little while. I do martial arts, and you can talk about these things and realize that a lot of us are connected in a lot of ways you would never have found out otherwise.
You mentioned Beck, and she does stream as well, and crazy enough, not even as much within Star Trek anymore, but started a platform where you became very involved with Star Trek, and it grew to even bigger proportions for you, to the point where it has become something totally different. Talk about your community and how Star Trek became such a big part of your life.
I always joke around. It's not really a joke, but the Star Trek community just adopted me one day. A lot of you guys know this. I met Rev through a networking community on Facebook, of all things, for those who still use Facebook. And back whenever I streamed a lot, and we met that way and became friends. And I didn't know anything about Star Trek, and everybody just kind of didn't care. They didn't care that I didn't know. Very welcoming. And the first thing that I learned about Star Trek is that the fans don't gatekeep Star Trek. It's almost like they encourage new Trekkies to join in. So at the time, I was just a much smaller streamer with just one thing, is to make the world feel less small. Did a lot of charity and outreach opportunities, and that's what my channel was built around. And Star Trek just naturally fit into all of that once it became a part of the content. And then it just grew and grew and grew. After getting into Star Trek Fleet Command and playing, I obviously became a Trekkie. I spend all of my evenings watching Star Trek. It's a little bit terrible right now. Just so you guys know, I'm on season 5 of Voyager, and it's really, really good. But all that to say, no, Star Trek in and of itself just redefined community for me in so many ways. The values and the morals that are within the show just are reflected in my own life in so many different ways.
That's awesome. Tibbs, you have been streaming within Star Trek Fleet Command. You're one of the analytical guys, the numbers guys. You do a lot of the data and the comparison and a lot of the teaching that has to do within the game. And it's not just, I've watched your channel so many times when we'll start talking in the game, but you don't have to play this game or that game. It starts maybe as something like that, but it always comes down to something related to lore or how Star Trek has influenced your life. I have enjoyed the stories that you've shared specifically about how this thing in this game reminds you of this. Tell us a little bit about what community means to you as it pertains to video game streaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've always had my finger in for years, on the pulse of a lot of different games, a lot of different communities. this game was always just about more of raising the level of everybody's awareness and understanding of it. If you understand how something works, you can enjoy it more usually, you can get more involved in it, and then you'll have a better playing experience with it. When you're frustrated and you don't understand how something's happening, why does this keep happening? Why do people keep killing my miners? I don't understand this. Because you're OPC. What the hell does OPC mean? That's how it all started. It was just that, trying to raise it in my alliance, and people were like, oh, we're sharing your videos with other people. I have a friend that work on another server, and it all just sort of just started growing from there, and who knows where it's going to go next.
One of the other types of creation doesn't have to just be audio or visual or video game streaming or YouTube or Twitch. It's actually often a form of content that largely goes, I wouldn't say unnoticed, but certainly not appreciated or promoted in quite the same way as video creation, but that would be in the creation of a community built around analytics and tools, where Tibbs kind of comes from, and our next guest from the Netherlands. First time in the States, by the way. Welcome to Nashville. Right?
Very nice to be here.
Chronox, a lot of you guys will know the website, stfc.wtf. That's what we like to call it, but it has many other names, including STFC Statistics. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you are doing with that as far as the development of that content, and how does that translate into community building for you?
Well, I actually had the same question as my very, very respectable neighbor. I also came to the conclusion that, well, I wanted to know, why am I not good enough? Why doesn't it work for me? And instead of checking in game, I was like, well, is there some data available to see what I should be doing? And in the search of it, I came onto data that was really interesting, all player data, all alliance data, etc., etc. And I figured, well, this is it. This is something we can use, not just me, but my alliance mates, my server mates, and the whole community, to use as an example of what level could we reach, what should we reach, and should we already start to gain another level, for example. And this data, I tried to make it as accessible as possible, and in the last few months, really, I started developing STFC 2.0, or STFC Statistics, which is currently the running website, and giving you a broad set of information if you want to see how progress is made in the game. You can see it on a daily basis, and you can see the progress, and you can see even regional statistics, leaderboard data, also upcoming, and more to come as well. And I hope this is something the community can use.
Griffin, it's wild to see the different kinds of backgrounds that community brings, because I heard Ryan ask you guys, how many of you guys play Star Trek video games? We didn't get to see, but we only heard like one person say, oh yeah, maybe. Do you play video games?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there's not just one. And that's what's really great. Griffin, we have specifically spent some time with with a variety of Star Trek games. As a matter of fact, not only do we play Star Trek Fleet Command, which is a great mobile, immersive, and PC-based game, but we've also played Star Trek Resurgence, of which we've already spoken to one of the cast of that game, who's here. Elias in the vendor's room is actually a voice actor inside Star Trek Resurgence. So there's a lot of immersion in the Star Trek universe that actually comes in gaming. And gaming, a lot of times, can be very respectful of that lore. And it stimulates conversation. We've had conversations on our podcast specifically about not anything to do with a game or strategy or statistics, but just like, wow, this game felt like an episode of TNG, or this game felt like this kind of a feature film. Star Trek Resurgence, anybody? Woo! Yeah, great game. You should check that out for sure. It's a phenomenal thing, but every single one of these things, when we talk about video game content creation, stems back to community building. Anybody can play a video game, but it takes a very special person to be able to get other people to enjoy that game with them in a live experience. I would like to go down and ask you guys now, because some of you guys have done a very good job with this. I'm going to start with you again, Iron Chef, because...
You always do this to me. You always, look, you go through everybody, and you answered my question for me.
Griffin.
He just never stops talking.
All right, fine. Griffin, what makes a community? It's on the card. It says I have to ask you.
Thank you for that. Number one, do you see how...
Time's up.
You have the stage manager bring out a microphone for me that doesn't work. That was dead too. I started on this wonderful journey with the kitty cat, UltimatDJz, down at the end, because of community. There was a large strike in Hollywood a year ago that everybody remembers, and it shut the whole city down for months. And I approached DJs because one thing we all have in common, obviously we all here love Star Trek, but we all play that game, Star Trek Ultimate. And he has a wonderful show about it. And I said, well, hey, I'm here in LA. I would love to be a man on the street and go and talk to the cast and the developers and so on at the Paramount lot on the strike day. And so I did that with another panelist of the Talking Trek podcast, Trader. And we're just walking up down the street looking for actors saying, hey, why are you here? Why is this important to you? Because a lot of people knew that there was a strike in Hollywood. And, you then realized that people were losing income. But what's it about? Why is it important? And being able to bring that message out to the community from the mouths of the actors, the talent, and the crew was a really important thing. I think that is the first time that we really took the message of our podcast beyond just a game that we play and how it affects the lives of everybody. And that's what I love about podcasting and about Twitching, is it really focuses on the inclusion of what's going on in the world and in our lives. Star Trek is super inclusive. That's one of the major themes of Star Trek. And in a world that's so divisive, it's awesome to be able to have a platform where anybody can join in and deliver a message and to share your thoughts and look for common ground. And here we are in an election year, and we're not talking about politics, but Star Trek is something where anybody can enjoy. And anybody can come together. We can find all these things that we have in common and these visions that we all share for the world, whether the color red or blue may be attached. And I love that. And I love what we have accomplished as a community as a result. Thank you for my time.
Well, what I was actually going to do was just tie you to that next question, because coming to you first for the next question, and not Iron Chef, like I was clearly obviously going to do, does kind of come into how to grow your community and proud moments. And you actually just kind of mentioned one that I wanted to talk about, was our very in-depth coverage of the strike from the Paramount lot. We had Griffin there with the cast talking about why. It's on our YouTube channel for you guys to go back and find out. Michelle Hurd was there. We had Robert Picardo was there.
Bill Wesley Crusher. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, I mean, there was probably 7 or 8 of the cast that actually took the time to talk to us lowly streamers about why it was important that their voice be heard and represented, and they chose our platform to be able to deliver those messages, and I thought that was really super cool. So, Griffin, what is one of your proudest moments? So you already answered it. I don't even have to ask.
No, I have another one.
Oh, good. Please indulge us.
As great as the strike is, another thing that we've been able to do in our community, it's funny that we're here in Nashville, is UltimatDJz 4 years ago started a fundraiser during the holiday season called the Christmas Angel Fund. And with his community of streamers and all of us here on stage, we participated in raising funds to have money put together for a Christmas for a family who might not have been able to afford a Christmas of their own. And that was very successful the first year. It built the second year, found a couple families. Then another year we did children in war sieged areas and sent some money that way. Last year, we took it to the next level and partnered with the hospital, which is the Monroe Carroll Children's Hospital here in town, because we wanted to raise money for a whole floor of the hospital. There are many children in the hospital with terminal illnesses who don't get to see their families for Christmas. And we wanted to have the opportunity to put a smile on their face, get them a toy or a gift that they might not have been able to receive otherwise. And thanks to the tireless work of not only everybody on this stage, but many of you out there who joined us for an hour here, and thank you for being here,
We were able to raise enough money last year to not only take care of one floor of the hospital, we took care of the whole entire children's hospital wing, 13 floors, raising over $53,000 to make sure every single kid at Christmas time had a present to open while they were stuck in the hospital. So thank you for all of you out there who participated in that, and that's definitely my proudest moment, DJ, and I'll start it with you.
It's actually a pretty daggone good one.
See, it's okay to let me talk sometimes.
All right, fine, whatever. You just want to take over?
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, if it's all right with you, appreciate it. No, that really is an actual amazing moment, and honestly, it's not my question to answer, but one of my proudest moments, just real quick, is asking all of you to be involved in that and hearing an instantaneous and immediate yes, and the support and the thousands of dollars that these guys raised for that same fund. So again, one more round of applause for all of these amazing streamers who do a lot of that type of stuff. Iron Chef, I do want to circle back around to growing your channel, because your YouTube channel currently has 250,000 subscribers. It is one of the largest channels in our Star Trek community. Tell us a little bit about how you grow a community. What's one of your proud moments?
Just being a part of the group, I think, is my proudest moment. I find great joy in seeing everyone grow together. And that's really something that we did with Warp Drive 5. If you don't know, Samuel, Tibbs, Shauna Benson, Scribbler, and Captain Jesse, we're part of this group called Warp Drive 5. It's amazing to see how we can collaborate together and not just provide, one of the goals was to provide like wall-to-wall coverage of STFC, and having now Friday nights, we have like over 10 hours sometimes of streaming coverage on that time. And so to see them grow, we have a new next-gen streamer group that we just started with some of the newer streamers. They reached out to us and said, can you provide some help? We want them to be successful as well. And I think that's, for me, I'm very proud of that. We do some things on our channel. We fundraise for the Lahaina wildfires, and we raised a few $1,000s for them in Hawaii, and thank you for all your support, those who donated. But lastly, I think we focus on mental health a lot. And I'm an educator. We see 1 out of every 5 teenagers think about committing suicide. They become adults as well. And so we have to protect our mental health. My stream is really chill. We want to support them as much as possible. We have referred people out to experts as well from time to time because they need that support. And we're so glad that we can come together as a community to do that.
That is incredible and very notable that there are themes outside, but not really outside of Star Trek, because those types of themes exist inside the ethos. Beck, your channel is one that has also grown phenomenally. You don't stream as much anymore given your career demands, but your community grew really fast. Tell us a little bit about how you plan in your future to grow your community and some of your proudest moments in the greenhouse.
In the greenhouse, yeah. I would say, I'll switch and start with the proudest moments. I mentioned before, we have done a lot of charity, and I think outside of Christmas Angel Fund, which that one was a really, really fun one to do, a year and a half ago, we did a large fundraiser stream for a fellow creator that I actually didn't know. I knew him through other folks, of course. And we raised money to get him a new powered chair because his chair had died while he was waiting for a subway out in Singapore. And he didn't have a way to get home. And he was stuck for several hours until family could come and get him. And we raised the money for that chair in one single stream, and that I remember bursting through tears getting through that entire stream. But it's hard to pick one proud moment, because I feel like every time our community would get together with a goal in mind, we always crushed it. We saw families that needed help during COVID and that needed help getting groceries, and we would support and fund that. And then doing just various different things for folks that couldn't work for several months. We would raise enough money to pay their bills so they could do that. And that was what streaming was to me. Streaming was, I have a platform and I want to use it to be able to pour back into people wherever they are. And so flipping that back to the first question on growing the community, in the future. That's something that I just don't want to go away. You know, as much as I can't do Star Trek content anymore, the fundraising, charity, the uplifting other people, that's always been the goal, the dream, and that's what I want to keep doing. So.
Samo, talking about positivity and uplifting, your streams are always that. You cannot tune in to Samo's stream and not just get a cute little chuckle about something that's going on over there. I mean, this girl has taken shots of pickle juice on camera and done taekwondo and played the saxophone for us and just stuff that like you would do if you were visiting a friend, you know, and just kind of hanging out and like getting into mischief. Samo, your community is incredibly supportive of you. You've developed an incredible sense of loyalty in your community, and that's because you're just you, right? How do you grow that type of sentiment in your community, and what's one of your proudest moments from your streams?
Well, you said it. Well, I always joke that I have relentless positivity on my channel. One of my catchphrases is hug a nerd, because the world needs more nerds. But we also need more hugs because, as has been said, you know, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I want to be a place to escape for some, but be still kind of ray of hope, because you know, people may look fine, but you don't know what's going on in their hearts or in their heads or in their families and their lives. And so sometimes one positive word or one positive place that you can go watch for even 5 minutes can make a bigger difference than you can possibly know. And so rather than a proudest single moment, because I mean, you all have touched on a few of the kind of big ones, is, you know, I've gotten messages. Another thing is, of course, I'm a female streamer and in the field of, you know, nerddom, and I've had people message me to say like, oh, I've watched you with my family before, I've watched you with my daughter, who, you know, is 12 years old or 14 years old or something, and she sees you up there, confident in yourself and talking about stuff and, you know, going and getting, and so people have told me that I've been inspired, you know, their daughters to go be a bit more out there, or try martial arts, or try that sport, or just try something. And so the idea that I could possibly inspire people just by being up there and being me, and I don't know why people, you know, watch me sometimes, because I just do my own thing, and obviously the foundation is this game, but I really am about broader than that. All the things Star Trek taught us about, we can connect to so many more people than we realize, and with the worldwide platform, it's just cool to have a place to all come together and have good vibes.
It's interesting, Tibbs, when you're talking about the streaming community and like proud moments and building a community, when you realize that it is truly the opportunity of a global audience, right? Like, it's not like we get together very often and sit with people face to face. Face it, we're internet nerds, we don't really like people. So being with you guys is scary and exciting at the same time, but it's also not super possible for everybody just to pick up and land in Nashville one weekend, right? And you guys are awesome for being here. Round of applause for yourselves for being here. Tibbs, the global nature of Twitch and YouTube has to have real implications and real opportunities for community growth if you can find a way to get people to connect with you. What are some of the ways that you've done that on your channel? Some of the proud things that you've done throughout your streaming career?
Well, selfishly for a second, I'm going to say being here today is probably a proud moment, because, I mean, the fact that he went from a guy making videos on YouTube just because he wanted his alliance mates to leave him alone and stop DMing him questions all the time, to actually now being here, being, you know, building a community and having all of that be successful. But, you know, reaching a global audience, like you said, you know, YouTube is international, you know, Twitch is international. So when you get people coming in from all different time zones, you know, we've got guys in Australia, we've got guys in New Zealand who play this game in China. They're leaving comments on videos like, oh my God, finally somebody I can actually understand what they're saying, or the way they explain something, or hey, you know, the time you stream actually works out really well for me because I'm just getting up and going to work. But for me, it's like dinner time. So the fact that we can all sort of come together and there's always opportunities out there And when I'm starting work in the morning, there's people in Australia streaming. You can pop into UltimatDJz or somebody else's stream and kind of just listen in the background while I'm pretending to get work done for a few hours.
Pretending.
Yeah.
Speaking internationally, our final panelist, Kronox, again, first time in the States, and super big welcome to our community. This is the first time you've met a lot of the creators, and again, being a creator of an untraditional type of content. You and I were talking last night about some of the hobby nature and the moments of pride that you've experienced with your website. If you can elaborate a little bit on what could possibly be proud about a website full of numbers, right?
A good question. But in the end, it's all about how those numbers are used. And it's the community that uses them. And it's the community that gives me the feedback of, hey, can we do this? Or can we see the numbers in a different way that makes more sense for them? And that's where I get my pride from, to get this data, do something with it, and make it so those content creators, those streamers, can actually make it work for them even more and explain it even to a bigger, broader range of people than I will ever be able to do with the site alone. And having them and meeting them and understanding what their needs are, that's really something that will drive me to make it even better.
The history of content creation inside of Star Trek Fleet Command looks really diverse. There have been members of our community that have come and gone. We've had members of the Warp Drive 5 who have left the community. We've had members of the Talking Trek podcast who have left the community for one reason or another. Work changes, life changes, but one thing that is universal is that most of these people still connect with us on a community level. People who, for example, maybe not play the game that we play anymore, but want to play something else, like War Thunder or something like that, find other ways to connect with the community and with streamers. And even though sometimes they leave and sometimes they decide to engage in other ways, we always remain family. And so at this point, if I may, I would like to cue up our second guest on the SAT feed. If we can get that second guest pulled up, and we'll take a look at this message right here.
Hey everyone, just wanted to say hello. It's your friendly neighborhood Bubba Joe here, and I just hope everyone's having a lot of fun at the convention center. I hope everyone's been talking about how awesome community building can be. I'm sad I can't be there with you guys this week. DJ wanted to make an announcement, so I thought I would take a moment to announce for him that I am planning to return to the podcast.
Yes!
DJ and I have talked about how there are certain people in the community who have missed my presence. That's not to say that the podcast has missed anything. I'm sure you guys are doing fantastic, but that there are some people that have missed my voice for some reason and would like me to come back. So I will be coming back occasionally when our schedules allow, mostly to talk about the lore of Star Trek and make fun of DJ whenever possible. But anyway, so just wanted to say hello, and I wanted to give a couple of thoughts on community building, since that's what this panel is about. I think that the most important thing in community building is how you come together as a community, and understanding that the people that you meet and the relationships that you build are potentially life-altering. People that friends I've made in this are absolutely fantastic. We've been through a number of things together, and I can't trade that for anything, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I think that that's more than the game itself. more than the company that brought everyone together. I think that's the most important thing about community building is finding those relationships, culturing those relationships, and bringing people together. And if in any small way, DJ and all of the other content creators that have been gathered together today, if that has brought a positive impact on your life, let them know. These people put in tireless hours into the community and get very little in return. So thank them, support them however you can, whether it's just with thumbs ups and follows. That's good. That's good. They get something from knowing that they impact other people's lives. So I think one of the most important things building a community is remembering that it's about the community. It's almost never about the game. So I wish you all a happy convention. Hopefully this video was a lot of fun. And again, everyone have a good time. DJ, I will be there sometime in the near future to tell you to sit down and be wrong.
I will not. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubba Joe, and this amazing cast of creator panelists, thank you guys so very much. One more big round of applause for Griffin, Dr. Iron Chef, the Major Samo, Tiberius, Chronox, Beck Likes Plants,
and UltimatDJz.
Is one of those guys. We have a broadcast booth set up in the back of the vendor's room where we've got opportunities for you guys to meet all of these amazing people and to sit down. We're going to be doing some community games and swag giveaways and some fun stuff in the vendor's room and playing some games, and you'll be able to interact with each and every one of these amazing humans. Bubba mentioned it, that it's important to show your support because we don't always get to talk to every single person. A million DMs come in, and sometimes it's nice just to see a thumbs up or a comment because I can almost assure you that they all read all of them. And it would be super cool if you guys were here in Nashville today and wanted to stop by to talk and take pictures with these people or have them sign something, you know, like a jar of pickles, something like that. All right?
Nobody is going to give you free pickles for the last time.
It wasn't for me. All right, Sam, I was looking at you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Talking Trek Creator Community Building Podcast. Thanks, you guys, for your attention. You guys are amazing, and we'll look forward to seeing you later on in the day. Thank you guys so much.
Come and visit us.
Live like a prosper.
Dr. Mom is in the back, or middle. She has a bag of chocolate macadamia nuts. Grab one before you
Free candy.
And mahalo for everything.